As I mentioned, Auburn started with a 9.85 from their lead off Olivia Hollingsworth. Now Gabby McLaughlin is the second gymnast up for Auburn. Junior from Irving, Texas, and Texas Dreams. Coached by Kim Zemesco, world champion.
Maloney to pack. Really well done. Little over on the blindfold, but finishes very strong. I'm very excited.
I know it's only 2 routines in, but 2 great routines for the Auburn Tigers. Back over to vault. Danny Sievers, the third gymnast to go. Danae Fletcher went in the 2 spot, a 9.825 for her. She also did a 10-0 vault. Again, the landing wasn't that clean, so in an event, Oklahoma should come out on top after the first rotation, giving away a couple tenths early.
Small controlled step on that landing, and I know some of you may be watching and be like, but 9.8, that's almost a perfect 10. And yes, it is, but every single 10th matters. Every flexed foot, every bent leg, every step on the landing, every wobble on beam, every handstand on bars that's not hit. Keep an eye out for those.
This is Emma Malabuyo for UCLA, the second gymnast to go. And in this session of all the sessions of this Super 16, these teams all ranked in the top 10 in the preseason. 9.9s are the name of the game for these teams. 9.9s are the norm. That's what it's going to take to win this meet. So anything lower, you start to worry.
Finishes, or begins strong with a double back. Within the last 2 quads, artistry is a deduction that is now within the code of points. And in my opinion, Emma Malabuyo will not have any deductions. She is owning this floor tonight. Beautiful 180 split. No deductions on my end. A little wobble there. Comes the last pass. Powerhouse routine for Emma Malabuyo. That's going to score nicely.
UCLA started with a 9.775 for their first gymnast. This is Jordan Bowers, one of the stars of the Oklahoma team.
Oh! Look at that! Oh, I love a good stuck landing.
Danny Sievers right before her, a 9.875. You felt like Danny could have got a 9.9. There's no denying this is going to be above that 9.9 threshold. Jordan really came out her freshman year and made a statement. Didn't do all around a lot because of balance beam. They're hoping to build her confidence a bit and get her in that lineup more often. She actually is doing the all around tonight, but certainly a fun gymnast to watch just in her sophomore year.
Here we've got Jordan Childs, Emma Malabuyo talking to their teammate, Selena Harris, giving her some good luck pep talks.
I mean, if you're going to get a pep talk from a couple of athletes before you go, none other than Emma Malabuyo, who had an amazing elite career, and then Jordan Childs, who's on the top of her game right now. My goodness, yeah. I want to be in that conversation.
Those are the two to get some good energy from, and they're going to give it to you.
You love that Emma Malabuyo floor routine, and so did the judges. A 9.9. Jordan Bowers over on vault, a 9.975. So one of those judges gave her a 10. Scores building.
Starts off with a full end. Chest a little low. 180 splits on all her leaps and jumps. I think UCLA is really on their A game tonight.
I feel like this is a great place for them to start. They can just let it all out. They love to perform. If there are nerves, you feel like they just get rid of them right here on the first event.
I love this team. Here she goes, last pass. 1.5 punch of front half to a double stack jump. Woo!
Not bad for a debut.
Not bad at all.
In front of her hometown crowd, as well as a contingent of UCLA fans. You can see them in the stands behind her. What a feeling. Well, you go from one outstanding performance to what I highly anticipate being another outstanding one. She is the Olympic all-around champion. Came into college gymnastics last year and lit it on fire. It's Suni Lee. She follows Darian Goborn's 9.9. I saw Suni do a routine in practice on beam that absolutely was a 10. Watch this routine and enjoy.
Oh, beautiful. I mean,
If she sticks it to 10.
Yeah, this is perfect. Oh.
A little flat on the full over.
Yeah,
do you
she
think,
did
do you
go
think
over on that blindfold.
will the judges hit her on that? I mean, you're watching the Olympic champ, and she's the epitome of perfection. She goes a little over on a full over. Are you putting a 10th on that? If you're the judge?
I know I might get a little for this, but she was a bit over on that blindfold. She did have a wobble on her landing, even though her feet didn't move. I am for sure being quite critical, but everything else was absolute perfection. And you don't get to say that about a lot of things in gymnastics.
I'm going 9.95.
I'll agree with you.
We'll go back to that in a moment, but here we go with Margzetta Fraser. Follows now a pair of 9.9s from UCLA. Selena Harris in her debut as a UCLA Bruin, 9.9.
Whip to double back first pass. She does step out of bounds. However, I will say, Mars is someone with brilliant stage presence. Attention with this artistry. Here comes her second pass. Double pike opens barely. Okay, quite a few landing deductions in this routine. I think she recognized she had a lot of power in that first pass and tried to hold back on the second.
Now the world silver medalist, just won a silver medal on this event a few months ago in Liverpool, Jordan Child. She follows Margzetta Fraser's 9.5, so they need a couple big scores here to finish through the Bruins.
Double layout, quite the large hop out of it.
Did
But
stay
it was
in bounds.
stunning, stood in bounds. I gotta say, she looks like she's having a blast out there. Front tuck to double back. It was perfect in my eyes. Stunning leaps and jumps. Jordan Childs finishes with a wonderful double pike.
Wow.
Woo! That was a show-stopping floor routine. Other than her landing on that first pass, what a fun watch. And she looked like she had such a blast out there. That is a huge differentiation between elite gymnastics and college gymnastics. When you're watching these floor routines, you get to see these athletes fully be themselves, and it really reads through the screen.
I would need oxygen after that routine. That was fast forward the whole way. Now back over to balance beam. Natalie Wojcik for Michigan follows Abbey High School's 9.825. As we mentioned, they have a 9.2 right now that they are counting that they will drop if Natalie can get a hit. She is the 2019 NCAA champion on this event. And was ranked in the top 10 on balance beam at the end of the regular season last year.
Handspring layout, small wobble there. I am noticing a lot of little bobbles on skills here and there, and they do add up. Hopefully Michigan can get those tenths back on other events. There's the dismount. A stuck round off 1.5.
They needed that.
Oh yeah.
Slow start, but they needed that hit from Natalie Wojcik at the end of that rotation. That was a big one for the Wolverines. Back over to floor exercise now with the junior Shay Campbell from Carrollton, Texas. Some of you may have heard of her dad, Calais Campbell, plays football in the NFL for the Ravens. Jordan Childs right before her. You're right about that landing. I think they got her a bit, 9.875. And in case you were wondering, we did nail the score for Suni Lee. It is a 9.95.
Shay's first pass. Starts off with a near perfect full in. This is a brilliant rotation. Very clean front layout from full. Here comes her last pass. Fantastic routine for Shay Campbell. I think that's going to score very nicely.
Well, we're going to find out if Danny Sievers has it, because she is the gymnast that is in the lineup for Kat Lavasser. I watched her in training. She is outstanding. It's an embarrassment of riches for the Oklahoma Sooners throughout all 4 events, but definitely here on the uneven bars.
Begins with a Maloney to Pat connection. Looks like she's floating. Nicely done. Bit short on that pirouette.
Okay.
Full out dismount. Wow, that.
I think KJ Kindler is going to be happy with her decision. Not the flashiest routine like we saw from Suni Lee, for example, but hard to find a deduction in there. Now over to balance beam. Olivia Hollingsworth for Auburn started with a 9.675. Again, if you've watched this meet for one rotation, you know that is absolutely a score you do not want to count. Now Aria Brush and the rest of the Auburn Tigers have a little pressure on them.
As we mentioned earlier, Michigan had quite a few wobbles on beam, so let's see how Auburn does with this rotation. Ooh, that's a wobble. She did get that connection though, which is good. Handspring layout flight series, well done. Beautiful form. Oh, what's my forming? Finishes strong with a stub gainer full. Aside from the little bobbles, it should score nicely. Aria
Brush delivers in an important spot for the Auburn Tigers. Now back over to vault for UCLA. Emily Lee, the sophomore from Los Gatos, California, three-time national team member, competed in the Tokyo Olympic trials. Follows Maddie and Mimi's 9.775.
That was a near stick vault for Emily Lee. I believe that's going to score nicely. I keep saying that, but
and they keep
today.
scoring nicely. Danny Sievers scoring nicely, a 9.875. Didn't get the 9.9 I thought she would, but for a leadoff score, that is big. Faith Torres in the 2 spot, also a 9.875.
For Emily Lee's vault.
Back over to vault. Here's Shay Campbell following Emily Lee's 9.85.
Let's see if she can score higher.
Wow! Wow!
That was a monster ball! Holy moly! The height off that table, barely any landing deductions. Oh my goodness!
I could stand under that with you on my shoulders and we would be just fine.
We could run under twice and she'd still be over our heads. That was brilliant.
That is a 995 start value vault, so a perfect score would be a 995. It's going to be darn close to that. Now quickly back over to the uneven bars. As I mentioned, Danae Fletcher, a 9.9. Now Reagan Smith, 2017 USA all-around champion and alternate on the 2016 Olympic team.
Pack circle to Here comes a dismount. Small hop on the landing. I did catch a few deductions there between missed handstands or rushed releases. But overall, her consistency on this event has really gotten better over the last few years.
Selena Harris, we saw that debut on floor with a 9.9. Shay Campbell, a big 9.925. That is what UCLA needs. Their first score over a 9.9 here in the second rotation. There's a 10-0 start value.
Just a small hop on that landing, but as I mentioned earlier with Emily Lee, when you have that beautiful laid out position in the air, there's not much they can deduct from.
The first rotation of this competition saw 7 scores of 9.9 plus just between Auburn, Oklahoma, and UCLA. So the scores are starting to really flow here at the Super 16. Back over to Auburn on balance beam there, having continued troubles. We mentioned they started with a 9.675 from Olivia Hollingsworth. Aria Brush, a very good 9.8. However, Cassie Stevens only a 9.4. So 3 gymnasts to go. If they want to try to hang with Oklahoma and UCLA, they're going to have to start putting up 9.9s. This is Sophia Groth.
She's excited about that. I would be too. Handspring layout back handspring, not a common 3-part flight series we see on balance beam, but she nailed that. That may have supposed to lead to that skill right there, but she fixes it. You must have that connection in your routine, and she adds.
Sophia is a tough athlete. Just a couple weeks ago, landed on the bar, missed a hand, landed on the bar, cracked a rib. Whew. And she's back here in competition.
So far, a solid routine. Finishes with a pike gainer off the end, completely stuck. I gotta say, that's gonna score very high. And this is exactly what Auburn needs tonight.
She seemed pretty happy with it. Selena Harrison, 9.9 for that 10-0 vault, and now in the anchor position, Jordan Childs, as I mentioned, Olympic silver medalist, also a silver medalist on the vault at the 2022 World Championships, just behind her teammate Jay Carey, who won gold.
Here she comes with a Yurchenko double full. Small hop on the landing, 10-0 start value. I'd be very happy about that.
UCLA finishing that rotation with Shea Campbell's 9.925, Selena Harrison 9.9, and this looks like it very well may break 9.9 as well, Lori.
I think it will.
Definitely a 110, definitely a 110 pop. It is a 10-0 start, but other than that, a pretty darn clean Yurchenko double twist.
Jordan's also extremely consistent on vault. Every time she's competed on the elite scene, you can trust that she's gonna hit a pretty gnarly Yurchenko double full like she just did and score pretty high on that event.
We saw the scores for Oklahoma on bars. Reagan Smith, Jordan Bowers, back-to-back 9.85s. Believe it or not, a little disappointing probably for the Oklahoma Sooners. Those scores typically are 9.9s, but Audrey Davis, she's as good as it gets on this event.
Beautiful invert to Pike Jaeger. Woof.
Wow.
Look at these handstands. When you got the toes to the ceiling like that, that's how you know you have a brilliant bar worker. Her legs glued together.
She has a unique dismount and sticks it all the time right here. Oh! Boom!
That was beautiful. What's so cool, you watch at the end as she's getting ready to do that half turn on her dismount. She spots the floor the entire time. No wonder why she sticks it. That was gorgeous.
So Audrey Davis ends it with an exclamation point. Could we have seen our first 10-0 in this competition? We'll find out in a few moments, but Michigan, we said they had some making up to do. They are not messing around. 3 9.925s in a row. Ooh. And Sierra Brooks and Gabby Wilson capable of perfection on this event to close it out for Michigan on floor.
It off with a perfect full in. Little low on the back leg, but so far this is a great routine. Front touch step out to double back. Michigan is on a roll right now. That's going to score very high.
Could it be a fourth 9.9 plus in a row? It certainly feels that way. Audrey Davis on bars. The judges somehow found a half a tenth in that routine, a 9.95 for her. That is a routine that's going to score. If she does an identical routine later in the season, she will be getting 10s, kind of like Suni Lee in my opinion. But let's go back over to Bean. Sophia Groth with a 9.85 for her routine. Gabby McLaughlin, a 9.825. So good scores, but keep in mind they are going to have to count a 9.675. This feels like it really needs to be a 9.95 or better. Keep it close for Auburn after 2 rotations. Suni Lee.
connection. She's got sticky feet so far. Nails that side aerial layout.
What a series, too.
Extremely difficult.
She's going to make it real hard for the judges not to throw a 10 tonight. The two routines she has had, stuck landing, virtual perfection, 9.95 on bars. You find me a way not to get a 10 on that one, Lori. Whew. Break it down. Do you find it?
Do you really want me to find it?
Find a way.
I have one. I am being so critical right now. That second layout step out was undercut a little bit. So if it's not a 10, I think that's where it is.
We're moving on to floor exercise. Sierra Brooks, a 9.95 in the 5th spot. So 4 scores in a row of 9.925 or better. And now here we go with the final gymnast for Michigan on floor, Gabby Wilson.
Wow, a monster full in first pass. She doesn't even grab her legs. She doesn't open. You have to be so strong for that. Quite the hop on that double back. That's going to be a 10th or 2.
I don't think she went out of bounds. I looked quickly across the floor. Did not see the judge's hand going up, but that might break the streak of 9.9 pluses for Michigan. But nonetheless, wow, what a comeback performance for Michigan on floor exercise. But the story of the second rotation, she put up a 9.95 in the first rotation, and Suni Lee gives them no room to move. She gets a 10.
A perfect 10! You called it, John. Today's competition.
Natalie Wojcik a 9.825. Now Reina Gugino had a little trouble in training on this vault. We'll see how she does here. Not a problem. Hop backwards.
Just as you mentioned, small hop backwards. Let's see this replay. Okay, she did have some closed shoulders on the tables and leg separations in the air. So if you see some tenths off from her score, I do believe that's where they would pull from.
Now the leaders, Oklahoma Sooners. Ava Siegfeld will be the second gymnast to go as KJ Kindler comes up and gives her some smiles. I asked KJ one time, when you're talking to the gymnast, do you actually think they're listening to you? or is it more of an exercise for you and your nerves? And said, you know, you never know, but it is different for each gymnast. She knows what each one needs and what to remind them, right? Yeah,
I used to ask for someone to talk to me right before going, and I would genuinely express, I'm not going to respond back to you, but I could use a distraction from my own nerves. So I just have people talking to me left and right.
KJ does love coaching balance beam, takes great pride in how good the Oklahoma Sooners beam team has been over the years. Reina Gugino on vault for Michigan, a 9.85, so builds a little bit, a quarter of a tenth rather higher than Natalie Wojcik. They have 4 left to go. Shea Campbell gets a 9.825 to lead things off for UCLA on bars. And Auburn on floor, Gabby McLaughlin just a 9.65. So we saw that from Auburn on beam. They started slow. Jenna Dunn's score finally in for Oklahoma. She led things off for the Sooners, 9.85 for her. Ava is a freshman from Williamsburg, Virginia, and world-class gymnastics, where she is coached by Tammy and Rex Harrison. Competed in the 2021 Olympic trials, finished 14th all around there.
Begins with a genuinely perfect handspring layout. That was one of the prettiest flight series I think I've ever seen. Nails her front aerial. Things are looking good so far for Ava. Absolutely gets credit for that ring jump. Her head was all the way back. Her leg in the back was bent enough.
Beautiful.
Woo! I gotta say, that may be a perfect 10.
In the 2 spot. Second
so.
gymnast up. Lori Hernandez telling me she can't find deductions. Getting an extra long hug from KJ, probably a good sign if you're a Sooner.
I like to, well, not like to, but I unfortunately tend to always find deductions, so.
Well, and that's the nature of the sport, right? You can always find something that could be higher or could be split more, but
absolutely.
In our world, that was pretty darn good. I'll tell you what, there's an energy in this arena right now that is a championship type of energy.
Yes.
Great gymnastics in all 4 corners on all 4 events. Michigan bringing it on vault. They started with a 9.825 and it went up through their 4th to a 9.875. This is Sierra Brooks in the anchor position. Oh!
Oh my goodness!
Bev Palaki right there. I looked over and I saw the double fist pump from Bev. She's been around this sport for a long time, been at Michigan for 34 years, but she still gets excited for greatness. All right, now Selena Harris and the UCLA Bruins on bars trying to keep pace. Patarariu in the 3rd spot for UCLA, a 9.85. That's their highest score so far in this rotation.
Beautiful Belgian handstand. She began with a Ray release move. Wow. We are seeing some fire gymnastics today. Holy moly.
Did somebody tell me she's a freshman? Because she doesn't compete like a freshman. Wow. Selena Harris, 8 times she won a JO national title. And you can see why she is rated the #1 recruit in the country coming into this 2023 season.
Ava on beam did get a 9.925, so it wasn't a perfect 10, and now I want to go inquire where the judges found.
I love it when Lori starts inquiring. You know that's a good sign for the athlete.
It was beautiful. Gymnastics.
So that was Sierra Brooks who went on vault, but I was mistakenly said she was the anchor on that event. She is not. She was in the 5 spot, and she got a 9.95. Abby High School is yet to go for Michigan, and she is capable of a 10, has gotten a 10, as we see Jordan Bowers on balance beam now for the Sooners. 3rd gymnast up there.
Absolutely stunning handspring layout.
Jordan Bowers, a very good beam worker, however, did not get in the all-around competition all that often last season, as I mentioned earlier, because of balance beam and a little bit of her confidence on balance beam. Got in today because of Kat Levaster's injury and certainly looks to be making the most of it right now. Gonna make lineup choices real difficult for KJ.
Oh boy, yeah, well. And I gotta say, all of Oklahoma's flight series that we've watched so far, they have been jaw-dropping. Straight legs, pointed toes, no wobbles, beautiful height on the layout step out. Here comes the dismount. Tiny little
You're saying it was a small. You're saying it was a small step.
The tiniest.
What's the deduction for a tiny set?
The tiniest little.
That is a new dismount for Jordan Bowers, a double twist. Been working to clean that up as we quickly go over to bars now. UCLA's Jordan Childs follows a 9-9 from Selena Harris.
Huge pike to catch to pack.
Watch this.
Maloney to Ginger. Look at those handstands.
Oh, 1 foot slid, or I was about to call for another 10.
Oh, man.
That was a fabulous bar routine. The handstands, Lori, do they get better than that?
Truly, handstands also something that we have to commend Jordan Childs for is the height that she gets on those release moves. Competing in the elite world, she was doing Tkachev after Tkachev, just connecting things left and right, and her height was brilliant. You would expect to see something like that from someone tumbling on the floor, but she was able to get that on bars.
And like Suni Lee's bar routine, she did more difficulty than she needs to do to get to a 10.
Yes.
But they're competing elite. They're trying to make an Olympic team. And a lot of these coaches who are coaching elite athletes that are competing college, they have them do more difficulty. And they incorporate a lot of those skills they do in elite routines into their college routine by design. And that's a risk they take. But it's worth it to have these type of athletes like Suni Lee, like Jordan Childs on your team. Absolutely.
And especially knowing, as you mentioned, that they are still flicking back and forth between collegiate and the elite scene. They have to keep those skills up to date.
Suni Lee, the 10 on balance beam, now goes to floor exercise. Follows Cassie Stevens, 9.85. A slow start for Auburn here, 9.65, 9.775 for their first 2 athletes.
Double layout, first pass for Suni Lee. You can see she's really bringing the energy here. Perfect loops and jumps. Comes her next pass. 1.5 from full. Small hop on that landing, but
It looks like she said something to herself at the end of that floor pass. Her lips move. I wonder what she said.
She might have.
Another outstanding routine. Just that hop. Maybe a 10th, maybe a half a 10th.
Should score very high, though.
Jordan Childs did score very high, 9.975. So one of the judges did give her a 10. Margzetta Frazier right after her. And this happened a moment ago. I won't give away the ending, but it was good.
Spoilers. Stunning connection for her Maloney to pack. Little short on that pirouette, but she keeps things moving. Oh, that was beautiful. I sound like a broken record for tonight. I mean, all of this gymnastics that we're seeing is of such high quality. It is such a joy to watch, truly.
A much anticipated quad meet coming into this weekend with all these highly ranked teams, and so far it is absolutely delivering. Margzetta Frazier, 9.95 for that uneven bar routine. Back over to balance beam for the Sooners. Jordan Bowers, a 9.925. Audrey Davis right after her, a 9.8. Now this is Faith Torres, the prize recruit for the Sooners, former elite gymnast as well. KJ has so many great things to say about her and her gymnastics. Calls this her best event.
Hey, that's a wonderful title to hold. Side aerial to layout, step out. Such a difficult flight series. the half turn you do in the air on the side aerial and going right into a large step out. Oof.
Oklahoma held only a 1/10 lead over UCLA, who sat in the second spot of the second rotation. This feels like it needs to be a big number to stay there.
Round of double back dismount, that was a pretty solid step on the landing.
It's okay to say it was a big step.
Maybe not a tiny step. That was a step.
It was a 1/10 step for sure, and that's a risky dismount. You see a lot of the 1.5s, the gainers, which are easier to stick. Taking a big risk there. Now this is a must-see routine. This is Darian Goborn, choreographed her routine with her brother, and I'm told that this routine is a tribute to historically black colleges and universities, and it is one you will absolutely want to sit back and enjoy.
Beautiful open double tuck first pass. She doesn't grab her legs. That is difficult. Front full punch front layout. Nails it. Here she comes for her last pass. Beautiful double pike.
Auburn on vault. The one thing Auburn has not done well is start strong on their last couple events. They have got to come out of the gate strong, and they do on vault. Sophia Groth, 9.825 in the leadoff position. You heard Jess talk about the 410 vaults. They are supposed to do 410 vaults. They can stick one of these early vaults, their 995 start values, and then put the exclamation point on. They've got a half a point to make up. That is a lot. They got to be almost perfect.
Also, I just have to say, Harry Styles is floor music right now, and I'm having a really good time. I love Harry Styles. Okay. Okay, that was very nice, Yurchenko full.
Been battling from the fourth spot all night, and now they could be making a move. Could they jump to first as we go to floor? This is Audrey Davis.
For handspring front double full, beautifully done. As I've mentioned earlier in the day, artistry is now something that can be deducted from floor routines. So if the rhythm is off, if the music or dancing doesn't suit the personality of the gymnast, they can get deducted for that. But she's slaying right now. And the half front full.
Audrey Davis, outstanding. At the end of last season, was the 15th ranked all-arounder in the country. Meanwhile, over on the vault, Sarah Hubbard in the third spot. I did glance up. She stuck her Yurchenko 1.5. She gets a 9.9. That is the first of their 410 vaults. Here we go with Suni Lee.
Other than the step on the landing, I didn't find anything.
Now, I saw her do that vault last year in the laid-out position. I'm not sure if that was the plan here, to do it in the tuck position or not.
I think in practice, I saw her do this vault a couple times, so I do believe it was intentional. But, well, of course, Suni has the capacity to do both, right?
She learned that vault in like a minute, I feel like, last season. I remember thinking to myself, only an Olympic champion. So an impressive night for Suni Lee. She is done competing. Cassie Stevens, by the way, was right before Suni on vault, a 9.925 for her. So Darian Goborn is the last vaulter for Auburn. Again, UCLA, Auburn, Michigan trying to chase down Oklahoma. UCLA having some trouble on balance beam. Shea Campbell just a 9.65 for her performance. Now they will have to count that 9.65. Jordan Childs is the next gymnast to go.
We're gonna need some really high nines, but unfortunately, 9.6, it can go both ways when that score counts. It really just depends on everybody else competing afterwards and seeing how high of a score they can get.
Yeah, as tight as this competition feels, a 9.65, it's going to be a problem for UCLA unless they can put up some big numbers. At least that's the way this competition is going. Oklahoma on floor. Audrey Davis a 9.9, Danae Fletcher in the third spot a 9.925. So pressure situation for Jordan Childs.
Beautiful handspring layout, wonderful height, no wobbles, perfect form. Jordan genuinely has the capacity to wow the judges on this event. It's just a matter of hitting a beautiful routine under pressure. She can do it. Let's see what she does. Which she wanted to wobble there, but saved it. Here comes the dismount. Double pike! Oh boy!
Could we have our second perfect 10 on balance beam here at the Super 16? Jordan Childs, I'll tell you what, she delivers over and over again, whether it's for the Bruins or Team USA this fall at the World Championships, back in college here in January. She is just relentless competitor.
I'm really curious to know what score she's gonna get. If she doesn't get a 10, I would say it's because of the chest down on the dismount. But also, that's me being nitpicky.
We shall see as Reagan Smith, the fourth gymnast to go for Oklahoma. They are rolling on floor exercise right now while Michigan's continuing to roll on the uneven bars. We'll update you with that in a moment.
Practically perfect double tuck first pass. Punch front layout, a couple stumbles back on that. Here comes her last pass. Double hike, well done.
Wow.
That was a pretty solid routine for Reagan.
Very well done for Reagan Smith. As I mentioned, 9.9, 9.925 right before her. Michigan on bars. They have been cruising. I'm being told 5 legit stuck dismounts out of 6 routines. And the highlight, this was moments ago, I should say one of the highlights. There were a lot of highlights for Michigan on bars. This is Sierra Brooks, the 5th gymnast to go for the Wolverines, trying to make a run from the 4th position throughout every rotation tonight.
Stunning shoot over to the low bar, hits right to a dead handstand.
Double high fives from Scott Sherman, the uneven bar whisperer, I like to call him. One of the best bar coaches in the country, and you can see his craft at work. 9.95 from Sierra Brooks.
Ooh, that was a monster dismount.
That was the third 9.9 plus for Michigan. And at that point, they still had Natalie Wojcik yet to go. Speaking of Natalie Wojcik, this was also moments ago, and this was the capper for the Wolverines.
Short on that first handstand.
One of the best releases in all of women's college gymnastics right there. Beautiful Delchev.
It always throws me off when it happens. I never know it's coming. So well done on her end. Wow. We're seeing greatness tonight, that's for sure.
Well done from Natalie Wojcik. Back over to balance beam. Jordan Childs, a 9.9. You were right about the shoulders down, most likely on that dismount. I'll give you that one, Lori. Sienna Alipio, a 9.75 for UCLA in the 4 spot as Selena Harris mounts the beam. So UCLA now counting a 9.75 and a 9.65. It does feel like that the opportunity to win this meet, and very likely the second position may be slipping away from the Bruins.
Handspring layout, handspring beautifully done. Sometimes with the momentum on that layout step out, it can be hard to tame the back handspring after it. But she does it well.
Auburn and Michigan, they are both done with this rotation. UCLA has 1 gymnast to go. Oklahoma has 1 gymnast to go. She wanted to stick that so bad. She opened that up, looked for the landing. You can see the kind of double fist squeeze above her head, like, oh, let that 10th get away. But what a night. What a debut for that freshman. We're going to jump over to floor exercise. Oklahoma Sooners finishing up with Jordan Bowers. At the end of last season, she was the 19th ranked gymnast in the country on this event. And she follows Faith Torres, the other freshman star here this evening. She got a 9.95 for her floor team.
Off with monster height on that double pike. Landing, and on that front double full, she under-rotated, so it was like a stump front tuck. Moved through it smoothly, though. I would just lay there and take a nap afterwards. I'd be so tired, I would not get back up. That's enough for me on my end.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Jordan Bowers finishes things up on what looks to be another Oklahoma Sooner victory, picking up right where they left off after the national championship last year. Final gymnast to go for UCLA on balance beam. This is Emma Malabuyo. Selena Harris scored a 9.8.
Here for Emma Malabuyo. She is someone you can definitely count on for beam. Always shows up, especially in the elite world, someone you can count on.
5-time national team member, Olympic alternate in 2020.
It's like she wants to wobble, but just covers it up with a little dance. That's what you got to do. And no skill is rarely perfect every single time, so you just keep moving when you land. Wonderful routine for Emma Malabuyo. I'm curious to know how this is going to affect UCLA's overall score.